It's an emergency. I have a mathematics exam in 1 hour and I haven't done any revision. Take a deep breath and let that anxiety flow away, because in this video we'll be going through some shortcuts to finish your maths test fast so you still have enough time to get home and play Fortnite before mum turns off the Wi-Fi. Okay, so let's say you get into the test and it asks you to simplify some fractions. So there's only one thing you need to remember when simplifying fractions. It's that you need to cancel any common numbers. So let's say, for example, they give you a fraction such as 19 over 95. Just look for the numbers that are common in the top and the bottom lines. So here we have a 1 and a 9 in the top line and a 9 and a 5 in the bottom line. The 9 is common, so cancel that out. Your final answer then is going to be 1 over 5, or 1/5. Let's do another example. This one's a bit trickier. This is 22 over 121. So the trick here is which 2 should you cancel in the top line? And luckily it doesn't matter. You can cancel either one. So let's cancel this 2 here with the 2 in the bottom line, and we get a final answer of 2 over 11. So there you go. That is simplifying fractions. That's all you need to remember for that one. Okay, next you might get an order of operations question. So forget all of that BEDMAS, PEMDAS stuff. None of that really matters. All you need to remember for order of operations is always go from left to right. So always go from left to right. Okay, that's all you need to remember for order of operations. So let's look at an example. So you might be asked to evaluate 2 plus 3 multiplied by something like 5 plus 4 over 14 take 5. Okay, so this looks pretty tricky. Remember, always go from left to right. So 2 plus 3 is 5, and then you have to sort out these fractions in these brackets here. That's tricky, but we can actually use what we did in the previous part here and cancel all of the common numbers. So here we have a 5 and a 5 on the bottom line, and a 4 and a 4 on the bottom line. What's the only number we have left in the brackets there? It's a 1. So we're going to do 5 multiplied by 1, and still going from left to right, 5 times 1 is 5. So final answer there, 5 for that one. Next, we're going to get a little bit trickier. We're going to talk about cubic numbers. So you might be given an equation such as x plus 3 cubed equals 343. Okay, this is where you might be panicking. You don't remember your cubic numbers, but don't stress. Just remember this trick for cubic numbers. You can cancel this 3 with the 3 in the number itself. And then also this 3 we can actually cancel as well. So final answer there, we're going to have x on the left-hand side equal to 4. Okay, now you might be asking, does this work with squared numbers? So we might have x squared equal to 25. Yes, it does. So we can cancel the 2 with this 2 here. And the only thing you need to remember if it is a squared number is we need to have a negative as well. So plus or minus 5 for the final answer there. Okay, let's continue getting harder here. So we're going to look at another equation, and this is the square root of 9x take 15 plus the square root of 15x plus 15 equal to the square root of 40. Okay, this looks horrible, but again, luckily there's a fast shortcut we can use here. We can square everything. So square this one here, and square the right hand side, and that gets rid of all these square root terms. So here on the left hand side we'll have 9x take 15 plus 15x plus 15 equal to 40. So you can see there all of the square roots have disappeared. And now all we need to do is to solve this equation. So negative 15 plus 15, they are going to cancel out. So we'll have 9x plus 15x, that's 24x, equal to 40. If we divide through by 8 here, we'll have 3x equal to 5. And then x is equal to 5 on 3. So final answer there, x equal to 5 on 3. Okay, a couple more here to get you ready for your test, and then I think you'll be ready to go. So you might be asked about the Fibonacci sequence. Okay, this is a very famous sequence, but it's easy to forget how to produce this sequence. So this sequence goes 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and so on. So let's say the question asks you to find the next number in the sequence and you've completely forgotten how to do it. Luckily, there's a really easy way to find it. So to find the nth term, all you need to do is 1 plus root 5 divided by 2 to the power of n, take 1 take root 5 on 2 to the power of n, and multiply all of this by 1 on root 5. Okay, so this is probably the easiest way to produce the Fibonacci sequence. And by the way, the nth term is, or this is the 0th term, this is the first term, this is the second term, and so on. So 3, 4, 5, 6. So the question might ask you to find the 7th term. So all we need to do here is to plug 7 in for n. So if you put 7 in here, you can probably do this in your head. Put 7 in there and you get 13. So the 7th term in this sequence is 13, and we are done with the Fibonacci sequence. Okay, on to the last one. This is actually some A-level content. Now you might be asked to evaluate something like sine of theta plus 45 equal to 1 on root 2, and you've completely forgotten your absolute values of trig functions. What do you do here? Well, all you need to remember is that the sine of a plus b is equal to the sine of a plus the sine of b. Pretty logical, right? You just expand the brackets. So here, just expanding these brackets, we've got sine of theta plus sine of 45 equal to 1 on root 2. And then put sine of 45 into your calculator, you'll get sine of theta plus 1 on root 2 equals 1 on root 2. And then sine of theta equals 0. So theta is going to equal 0 plus or minus the period of sine, of course. Forget the sum and difference formulas. Just remember, expand the brackets as you normally would when you have sine of a plus b. Okay, so there are some fast math shortcuts that nobody will ever teach you. Now you are ready for your exams and you no longer have to panic. Okay, thanks for watching.